The eSky PB Pro is an electric mountain board that comes in at about $2,000, which sounds like a lot, but for this category of boards, it's very much on the affordable side. With a huge 1200 watt-hour battery, giant 200mm off-road wheels, beefy mountain board trucks, and more, could this be the start of a new trend of electric mountain boards becoming accessible to the masses? Due to the ongoing lockdown in Shanghai, my henchman Alex and his henchman tested this board in Hangzhou. Alex is an experienced rider and DIY builder of electric skateboards. The PB Pro is very different from all the other all-terrain boards we've seen on this channel, especially in the skate components, so let's start the review there. Instead of a standard longboard deck, the PB Pro is built on a mountain board platform, like the LaCroix and Kaylee boards. From what I've been told, boards like these are extremely fun to ride, especially with bindings, though the camber deck may take some getting used to. You can do wheelies, carve really hard, and even do some jumps on and off curbs. The deck is made of laminated sheets of T700 carbon and glass fiber from Toray, a high-end manufacturer of carbon fiber. It has an upward camber and plenty of flex, with grip tape only on the areas where you put your feet. Alex found the deck shape to be comfortable, and the springy nature of the mountain board deck does a better job of absorbing large bumps than the typical longboard deck. The PB Pro comes with forged, then CNC machined channel trucks. These trucks are similar to the MBS Matrix 2, but appear to be beefier. They're 12 inches wide and come with 80A durometer bushings. Softer bushings will be available soon, and MBS bushings are also compatible. Unlike longboard bushings, a durometer of 80A is considered hard on channel trucks, and they felt a little too stiff for Alex, who weighs 75 kilograms. The pneumatic and semi-knobby wheels on the PB Pro are 8 inches or 200mm in diameter, which is on the larger side for all-terrain boards. Most all-terrain wheels we've seen on this channel have been around 6 inches or 165mm. A pair of bindings are bolted on the deck. Alex, who has some experience with bindings, did not like them. According to him, these bindings hurt his feet after a few minutes of riding, and they slip easily during jumps. He recommends putting on MBS or snowboard-style bindings, or just removing them if you don't need them. At 1200 watt-hours, the PB Pro has one of the largest battery packs of any electric skateboard, around $2,000. The pack is made of Lishan 21700 cells in a 12S6P configuration. Just for context, Lishan cells are used by many e-skate brands, including X-Way and Evolve. Compared to the Evolve Hadian, these PB Pro cells have higher capacity and higher discharge rating per cell. Alex, who weighs 75 kilograms and rides pretty aggressively, got about 48 kilometers or 30 miles before the board died. He rode mostly on well-paved roads and a little bit of grass. With a less trigger-happy rider and the right conditions, the board should be able to hit the rated range of 43 miles or 69 kilometers. A 4-amp charger comes included, which should charge the battery from flat to full in about 7 hours. The two 6374 180 kV motors on the back sit on CNC machined aircraft-grade aluminum motor mounts. eSky pointed out to me that their motors have thicker 12-gauge wires compared to the majority of the market that uses 14-gauge wires. Thicker wires are capable of carrying more current, roughly 50% more in this case. You might not feel a difference when riding, but your motors would be far less likely to overheat when continually charging up a hill. Controlling those motors is a second-generation Lingyi FOC, similar to that of a Meepo Hurricane, but even more powerful. The ESC features the same push-to-start feature as previous Lingyi speed controllers, which means you don't need to push a button to turn on the board. Alex pointed out that he had to push kinda hard to get the board to turn on. Like other Lingyi ESCs, the brakes keep the board in place when engaged at a full stop. This comes in handy on slopes. And also, the brake strength is adjustable by choosing one of 4 different brake modes right on the remote. Like most e-skate remotes, the acceleration and braking are controlled with a thumb wheel. There are 2 multi-purpose buttons. The large display shows the usual e-skate telemetry data, your speed, speed mode, brake mode, and odometer, etc. There's a hole for the trigger finger, and a USB Type-C port for recharging the remote. According to Alex, speed modes 1 and 2 felt weak, so you can treat them as beginner modes. But on speed mode 4, which is the highest mode, the acceleration felt pretty punchy and performed well on hills. Brakes were strong as well. If this video has been helpful so far, do me a favor and hit the like button. Because of the silly lockdown that has been going on in Shanghai for more than a month, I have not seen this board in person. So I'll give you Alex's opinion first, and then my opinion based on the photos and footage I've seen. According to Alex, the PB Pro looks fantastic in person. It's the first carbon fiber mountain board deck that he's seen, and the shape of the deck is great. Alex does not like those bindings, both in how they feel and also how they look. He says the power button looks quite cheap, and the logo on top of the deck peels off quite easily. My opinion is that the board looks pretty nice overall. The deck shape is similar to decks from Trampa and Kaylee. I wish they didn't use hexagons for the grip tape, because Kaylee already does that. The artwork looks alright, but with all those thin and small pieces, a large chunk of the logo is probably going to come off. Also, I think a glossy black sticker on a matte black deck would look nicer. Always nice to see CNC machined trucks. Anyway, I think it's pretty nice looking overall. Let me know what you think in the comments. The PB Pro weighs about 15 kilograms or 33 pounds. It's not really a board you'll pick up and carry around, but Alex found it pretty convenient to pull by the front truck. It's easy enough to put in the trunk of a car, and Alex was able to bring it onto the subway. The warranty of the battery is covered for 6 months, and most other parts are covered for 368 days. Not 365, 368. eSky is able to provide after-sales service to their US customers. In the US, they have a service center in Houston and warehouses in both Houston and Los Angeles. In Australia, they have a warehouse in Sydney. Their website has more info about after-sale and returns. $2,000 for an electric skateboard is not cheap, but for the category of boards that eSky is competing in, it's actually very much on the affordable end. LaCroix and Kaylee boards both start at around $2,700 and $2,800, with significantly smaller battery capacities. I'm sure that the boutique brands have other things going for them to justify their higher prices, but as a customer shopping for a cruiser-style electric mountain board, you're definitely going to look at the price and battery specs, and the PB Pro looks really attractive in terms of dollar per watt hour in the electric mountain board category. On the other hand, if you compare the PB Pro with the more common double kingpin truck all-terrain boards, it's more on the high-end price point, but it's still a really good deal if you're looking at dollar per watt hour. So I would say this board is worth serious consideration for anyone wanting a very long-range board for around $2,000. Unlike the double kingpin truck all-terrain boards, there's not a whole lot of competition in the electric mountain board category. So if eSky does their marketing right, I think they'll be a major player in this category. But again, that depends on how well they handle their marketing. Some of you may be wondering why the Rowdy Wasp appears to be the same product. The specs are actually different, and there are some cosmetic differences, but they do share a lot of parts. The reason is that eSky and Rowdy are essentially the same manufacturer. The owner of eSky is the son of the owner of Rowdy. I don't know the details of their arrangement, but there you go. That's the reason. I look forward to trying out this board one day. I've never been on an electric mountain board, and I apologize for not being able to try the boards that I've been reviewing. But I promise you, my henchmen are way more qualified than I am in testing these products. Some of you have asked about my ankle recovery. Thanks for your concern. I can walk now, I can bike, I can hop a little bit, I can run a few steps, but not really. My range of motion on my ankle is still much more limited than before, and recovery seems to have slowed, but it is still recovering. If you're wondering about the lockdown that's been happening here, I highly recommend this video. Take care.